Hello and welcome to the Real Radio Show on UCFM 87.8, coming to you live from the University of Canberra on Ngunnawal land. I'm James.
And I'm AJ. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, James, to be here with you. Round 2.
I know, week 1, it went really well. We're not cancelled. We're here, back again.
We're here, and it's a lot of fun. We got so much happening on the show, but I want to talk about my week, James.
Let me hear all about it. I heard you got a cool little present.
I'm so excited. So Kmart is selling this tiny little mini camera. It was at $29? Yeah. But it's so cute. It's very small, not even the size of I don't even know how to explain. It's very, very tiny and it works. And I've been taking all my photos every single day of the week. I'm taking all these photos, and James, I even took a photo today of our producer and Scott as well. It's amazing. It's so much fun.
Can we put that on our socials?
Oh, can we? I you know what? Keep an eye out on the socials and we will. Definitely look at that.
That's social at UCFM_87.8.
Exactly.
Which you should be following already.
Yes, 100%. It is so much fun just playing with it. And it records videos as well. So guess what? I'm going to be vlogging later.
You're talking about this $29. That's a steal. You sped it sound like that was an extreme amount of money.
I mean, for something that I could probably lose in very quickly. I don't know.
Does it have a little keychain bit to put on your keys?
It does. But I don't know. So now that it's getting popular, because I've been seeing it on TikTok, someone might steal it. So guys, if you ever see me walking around, don't steal my little camera. But there you go. That's my week.
I promise I won't steal it. My week definitely hasn't been as exciting as that. I didn't get any cool little cameras. I might go out after this and get one if they're still there now that we've broadcasted it to the whole world. I actually went to the movies on Friday night, saw Friendship, new one out, Paul Rudd, Tim Robinson.
Oh, nice.
If you like cringe comedy, it'll be a good one for you. And I don't really like cringe comedy. It has its place, and that movie was no exception. But it had its moments. For sure.
There you go. Love that. I need to watch more movies, but let's not before this show, actually. And we've got a lot on today, happening on today's show. We have comedian and ghost hunter Sarah Stewart joining us to talk about the spooky side of Canberra and her upcoming comedy show.
We're also going to preview the Fashion Thrift Society event happening this weekend at Epic and look back at the rugby with the Brumbies taking on the British and Irish Lions last week. Blake from Landspeed Records will be on the phone to tell us why you should vote for Landspeed as Australia's best record store. And we've got Aisha from Save Canberra's Kangaroos to tell us about their campaign to introduce virtual fencing in the ACT.
Yes, and don't forget, Linda from Canberra Jazz Club will give us a lowdown on the Canberra jazz scene as well. It is just after 4 p.m. and currently 11 degrees here in Belconnen. And once again, don't forget to send in a brand new text to our brand new text line. Send us a message throughout the show, guys. 0415 774 405.
You can stay up to date with everything UCFM by following at UCFM_87.8. And if you're not already, tune in to iHeartRadio to listen to UCFM wherever you are. This is The Real Radio Show.
Oh my gosh, James. Let's start off things with a little bit of an icebreaker. I don't know if you've seen all the Labubu and Dubai chocolate stuff all over TikTok lately, have you?
I have seen the Dubai chocolate, but I don't know what this Labubu you said?
Labubu, yes. A little toy, little guy. They're collectible, monster dolls that have been going pretty viral over TikTok over the last couple of weeks. And yes, you saw that Dubai chocolate was popping up on your feed as well. Delicious.
Expensive.
Very expensive, yes. Delicious pistachio cream and this crunchy little pastry on the inside with chocolate. Delish. And even one woman has claimed that she's got a 24 karat gold Labubu. So it's a very big thing.
That sounds even more expensive than the Dubai chocolate.
It is. I think she's a bit of a troll, but we'll leave it there with that. I don't know if it's true or not.
Maybe we can send someone from the Owl to do some investigative journalism on that one.
Maybe we should. I'll send you out there, James.
Oh, great.
But I thought, in the spirit of Labubu and Dubai chocolate, I wanted to give you a bit of a would you rather, James. I showed you some photos of the Labubus and they're a little bit silly goose. I don't know, they're kind of scary looking, but
yeah,
cute.
I got that sort of vibe.
Yeah, so I have a would you rather. Would you rather, James, have a Labubu themed life for a day? So your clothes, your house, your car is all Labubu themed just for a day. Or be forced to eat Dubai chocolate every time you have to eat anything?
Well, I haven't had Dubai chocolate, but I do love chocolate. So it's not sounding awful. Am I paying for the chocolate or is it given to me for free? Because if I've got to pay for it, that is not going to go well.
Let's say that you don't have to pay for it and you just get it for free. But you do have to eat it. You can't give it away.
I do love chocolate, but I think this would ruin chocolate for me. If I had to eat it with everything, I could cop it for a day. Labubu themed life. I'll just stay in my Labubu bed watching. Is there a TV show?
There might be in the future. I don't know.
Well, there would be if that's my life for the day. I guess I'd watch that. What about you? What are you picking?
To be honest, Labubu themed life for a day. Honestly, currently people are living that, so it might not be that bad just to do it for a day. I'm not really a big chocolate fan, so I don't know. I guess not the Dubai chocolate every day, but Labubu
not a big
themed
chocolate
life.
Fan.
No.
I'm disappointed.
We don't have to talk about it. But everyone at home, if you're listening, send us a text. Let us know what you would pick. Labubu themed life or Dubai chocolate every day. Give us a text 0415 774 405. Well, let's have a little bit of a flip of subject here. Remember, James, last week how we were talking about our own personal paranormal experiences? You didn't have any, but I did.
I know. I couldn't forget. It kept me up all week about all these scary ghost stories.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez. Yeah, very, very scary in my life, but, I can't get enough of it. But did you actually know, James, that Canberra has its own spooky past? Ooh.
I did not know this.
Yes.
I don't want to know if it's going to keep me up all night.
Well, I want to know, and I'm sure the listeners would want to know. Around the Kingston Foreshore and Causeway, there's a bone-chilling experience that takes you on a guided tour to uncover true crime and ghost stories in the area. And joining us over the phone is Sarah Stewart. She's a local comedian and the tour guide behind Foreshore Ghosts, Tales and True Crime Walking Tour. Oh my gosh, Sarah, welcome!
Thank you for having me. It's lovely to chat to you both.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, can you tell us a little bit about what's involved in this walking tour that you've made?
Yeah, sure. Well, it all started out during COVID, and I was doing it as a little bit of a prank, for want of anything better to say, and tried it out on my family, including my daughter, who was doing her nursing at UC at the time. And they enjoyed it so much, they said, why don't you do it more professionally? And that's how it started. So look, I shouldn't tell you this, but it was completely made up at first. but then as I started to do it properly, I started to investigate the history of the area. And I also had a couple of mediums walk around with me, and they told me all sorts of things that I had sort of sensed, but it was good to get their perspective that I wasn't just imagining things. And it's gone from there.
That's brilliant.
Sarah, I don't know if you heard, but I was saying earlier that I'm terrible with scary stuff. I was up all week from AJ's tiny little stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scary is this tour?
Oh, look, it's nowhere near as scary as some of the classic tours. Like, people have been up on some of the tours around Sydney, and they say they're very scary. So this is more of a storytelling tour. So there's definitely some scary stories, but there's also an awful lot of history and some true crime as well.
Yeah, I did see that you were doing some true crime as well. Do you have a favourite, spooky tale or story that you share when you're doing this Kingston Foreshore, walking tour? Something that you can give away very quickly?
Yeah. I was going to say, I can't say too much, but I certainly have. I start off with a story from my own experience. My first experience of something supernatural when I was 5, when I was a little girl. And I don't know whether it was a ghost looking after me or an angel looking after me. I'm not quite sure, but I start that story off. But I also... as we walk around, the ghost stories is a way of introducing people to the history of the area and catching people's attention. So it's always great fun.
Yeah, I bet it would be, and I would love to be part of this. Wouldn't you, James?
Yeah, now that I've heard it's not too scary.
No, it's not too scary. Honestly, James, you'd enjoy it, and you'd learn a few things as well.
Well, I'm all for learning.
Look,
It sounds like
James, I'll tell you what. Don't go to Blundell's Cottage on the lake. That's one of the haunted locations in Canberra. And it's haunted by Flora Blundell, who was a poor wee lass who was doing her ironing when she was 16 in about the 1880s, and she caught fire. But James, the good thing is, though, she usually only appears to young women.
So I'm not safe, unfortunately.
No, well, exactly right.
Well, you're safe, James. Doesn't make you feel a bit better.
I think I'll be safest not going there at all. I don't really want to test that theory that it's only young women that she's coming out to spook. But Sarah, you're not just doing these ghost tours. You've also currently performing a comedy show, Midwife Crisis, across Australia, most recently in Darwin, and you have an upcoming show at the Canberra Theatre on the 9th of August. What can you tell us about the show?
Oh, yes, I'm very excited. So exactly a year ago, I did a trial of this show at Smith's Alternative. And as you say, I've been around Australia with it since. So I'm really thrilled to be bringing it back to Canberra. And going to be at the Courtyard on the 9th at 4:30 in the afternoon. So your listeners can come to my comedy show, go and get lunch, and then go to Mooseheads and, a good Saturday afternoon and evening.
Sounds like it for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like everything's all planned out there. And as you mentioned, you've recently performed at Smith's Alternative open mic events. But we've seen Canberra for the music scene in particular, but also these comedy scene. A lot of venues are closing down transit in recent events. How do you think that's affecting the local comedy scene?
Yeah, look, good question. And it's very sad to see these wonderful venues close down. And of course, it's not helped with all the work that's happening, particularly in the centre of Canberra at the moment. So I think it's really important that we support our local venues as much as possible. But that being said, the comedy scene here in Canberra is really thriving, and that I've seen even just the last few months an increase of wonderful people coming onto the comedy scene. So I know we've got problems with venues, but that's not stopping the comedy scene growing, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that must be such an encouraging thing for new comedians who are trying to get into the scene as well. And we are looking to support you as well and all our listeners. So can you tell our listeners where can we find tickets to your guided tours and also to Midwife Crisis, your show?
Well, Midwife Crisis, if you go to the Canberra Theatre website, and you can get your tickets there. And for my ghost tours, well, that's a try booking. If you Google ghost tours Foreshore, Kingston Foreshore, you'll find them. Or just follow me on my Sarah Stewart comedy Facebook page.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much. And we'll definitely check that out. Listeners at home, check it out as well. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us on air today. And good luck with your show.
You. Thanks. I'm really looking forward to seeing you, James.
Yeah, James, see you later.
I'll see you soon, Sarah. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Sarah. See ya.
AJ, are you a big Ghostbusters fan?
I am now.
Have you not seen Ghostbusters? Don't tell me.
I can't say I have. I'm getting some shaking heads in the room. I haven't, and I will, I swear.
Well, I'll give you some advice. You just have to watch Ghostbusters. You can skip the sequel that came out in the 80s, and then the reboot ones, you can probably give them a miss as well.
All right, okay. There's my homework for the next week. I'll come back and I'll let you know.
I'm shocked. No Ghostbusters, no chocolate.
I'm just a disappointment to you. Anyway.
Oh, no, it's all fun. But Ghostbusters, one of my greatest hits of movies, plays again and again, at least once a year, I think. And Canberrans were treated to some great hits of their own on Wednesday night when the British and Irish Lions came to town. I went out to check out the festivities that were happening around town and see if I could speak to some travelling fans. There's music, there's a big TV, there's people everywhere. It's about 6 hours until kick-off. Let's see if I can find any British and Irish Lions fans. First off, can I just grab your names?
I'm Harry.
I'm Reese.
Dave.
Keith.
Archer. Finn.
Brett.
Mark.
And where have you guys travelled from?
I'm from South Wales, so pretty far.
Well, I'm a Canberra local.
And I've travelled from Glasgow in Scotland.
Not that far this time. I live in Canberra now. I came for the Lions tour 12 years ago and haven't left. So I flew in on the 12th of June 2013, and the Brumbies game was the 13th of June 2013. So I just gave myself 3 days to get over the jet lag, and I've been here since.
What do the Lions mean to you?
Oh, it's amazing. I love it. We did the Lions tour in New Zealand as well in 2017, so it's like a nostalgia thing as well, and like growing up and stuff. It's really cool.
I suppose the Lions is, I mean, obviously it's part of Scotland. There's a few Scotland players in the squad, and it's kind of I don't know, it's part of a bucket list for me to come and watch them in Australia and hopefully have a successful tour and successful test series.
It's pretty special to go to. Try and get a test match, but you can't. Too expensive.
Well, considering I was, sixth last time around, it's good to be around this one, get a few memories out of it.
For me, it's been part of my life, and I get to share the experience with my two boys, so it doesn't come around very often. So, yeah, good fun.
For me, the Lions, it is that sort of being able to put on that aspect to home and enjoy it and have a passion for it, but know that there's banter internally within the team, so it's just all about fun and it's about representation and the best of the best, rather than it all being, I don't know, a little bit too serious, sort of sort of competitive-ship, I suppose. And just the spectacle that you get with the Lions games are always just a lot of fun. The crowds are always a lot of fun. Getting to play the provincial teams as well is just awesome. It's just great.
Have you got a prediction for the series against the Wallabies?
I reckon 2-1 Lions. I think they'll put up a decent fight, seeing how good the team looks at the moment. So we'll see.
I'll go 3-0 Lions, I reckon.
My prediction is currently the Lions 2-1. Maybe one test, the Wallabies will do something. But it's going to be close, I think. Closer than a lot of people are thinking.
I'm actually going for 3-0 with the Lions, relatively comfortably. I think the injury to Noah Lolosio is a huge setback for the Wallabies system, and I just think the Wallabies are going to run out of cattle. I reckon 2-1 Wallabies. It'll be Lions first test, and then it'll be Wallabies the test 2 and 3.
Wallabies take game 1, Lions take game 2, Wallabies take home game 3.
Wallabies clean sweep the Lions.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. Unfortunately, I do think it's going to be a 3-0 win to the Lions, to be honest, at the moment.
Ben Alexander here, played all 3 tests against the Lions last time. What does the Lions tour mean to you?
Oh, it's pretty special. I was a young, rugby mad kid in 2001, so we got playing on the big screen. Watched every minute of that series, and then to be able to play against them was just a bit of a dream come true. Never in my wildest dreams I ever think I'd play one game for the Brumbies, let alone the Wallabies, let alone in a Lions series that's sort of once every 12-year opportunity. So it was a real pinch me moment, and then to be able to host Lions fans today at the dock is very, very special.
Do you think the Brumbies have a chance tonight?
They do, but it's going to be really tough. I know we beat them 12 years ago, but the Lions are playing their full-strength side tonight. So it's going to be tough, but should be a good game.
Inside the stadium now, about 30 minutes till kick-off. Going to walk around, get some score predictions. Can you just let me know where you're from and your score prediction for tonight?
From New Zealand, but originally England. I hope that we win by 50.
I'm going 32-24 to the British Lions.
I'm come from Ayrshire in Scotland, which is in the southwest of Scotland, and the score prediction tonight, I think it's going to be tight. I'll say 35-30 for the Lions.
Edinburgh at 65-10 to the Lions.
I'm from Canberra, and I think the Lions are going to win 33-17.
I'm a Canberra local, and the Brumbies going to win 28-3.
We're from Canberra. I think it's going to be... It's going to be a close game, maybe I don't know. It's going to be a high-scoring game, so I reckon around 20 to 14. Yeah, I think that's a fair amount. Actually, 24 to 14, that's what I reckon.
Oh, Brumbies are going to win all way long. They're going to be like 0-100, yeah. Easy. Can I have a go?
Yeah.
I think the Brums are going to be 1,000 nil.
All right, what's your actual guess?
I'm probably going to say let's go 26-45. I think it's going to be 14-25.
I'd probably do maybe 25 to 37.
My deepest apologies to my last interviewee in that package, who I didn't get the name for, but was our closest score predictor on the night, only one away from the final score, 24 to the Brumbies, 36 to the Lions. The kids did ask if there were any prizes for getting it right, and I told them I'd get them some UCFM merch if they did. So if any of you are listening, please text us at 0415 774 405 to claim your prizes. AJ, did you catch the game?
No, unfortunately not. I was eating a schnitzel, and I was at a meat raffle.
Well, that is the place to be on a Wednesday night.
It is what it is. Those kids were very cute, though. I hope they had fun at that game.
Yeah, their predictions weren't quite right with the 100 nil and the 1,000 nil, but I love the optimism and the love of the Brumbies.
Yeah, they were jumping in front of that mic. They're born for the radio.
Yeah. As soon as I put it out there, they all wanted to come and have a say and have a go. And then when I said they might win some prizes, oh boy, I had kids lining up around the block.
Oh, man, you should have brought some with you. Would have been better.
It would have been
Giving
better.
away the merch, promote.
I'll do it next time. I'm sure this isn't going to be the last sporting event that I'm doing a little package for. But the Brumbies, they played their hearts out in that game. Irish Lions were always going to be too strong, I think, being four countries brought together to compete against what was essentially a third-string Brumbies side with so many players out playing for the Wallabies.
Yes.
And 23,000 people at Canberra Stadium competing with State of Origin and competing with your Wednesday night meat raffle.
Exactly. And you know what? I was enjoying all of it. I heard the news straight from the source from you, and so there you go. Love it.
Time to hear some more news headlines from the Owl Desk with Alison.
Good afternoon from the Hour Newsroom. I'm Alison Kennelly. German backpacker Caroline Vilger has released a statement after being found last Friday in Outback, WA, after surviving 11 nights in freezing conditions with minimal food and water. The 26-year-old says she lost control of her van, hitting her head significantly during the crash. Miss Vilger was found injured and barefoot by farmer Tanya Henley, more than 30 kilometres from her abandoned car. The German backpacker says Mrs. Henley, her rescuer and angel, expressing deep gratitude to the WA community and Australia. Victorian police have identified a further 4 childcare centres that accused pedophile Joshua Dale Brown worked at. Brown currently faces over 70 charges relating to child sexual abuse, with police urging parents to seek testing for 800 children from the newly identified centres. And HBO has announced the official start of production on the highly anticipated Harry Potter TV series adaptation. In a photo released by the network, we get our first glimpse at Dominic McLaughlin, who is set to play the protagonist Harry Potter. The show is expected to debut in 2027. And in sport, the Kanga Cup has kicked off in Canberra with an icy blast and temperatures hitting sub-zero during games. As the largest junior soccer tournament in the Southern Hemisphere, young soccer fanatics from around Australia and beyond are getting rugged up as minimum temperatures ranging between -2 and -5 are set to hit until the tournament's end on Friday. A quick weather check. It's currently 9 degrees in Canberra. Sunny conditions expected around 5 p.m, getting down to 2 degrees overnight. And that's the latest from the Owl Newsroom.
Thank you, Alison. I'm interested to get your thoughts on the new Harry Potter HBO series.
So excited, James. I will have to confess live on air that I have never read the Harry Potter books, but I've watched all 9 movies. So I'm geared up. I'm ready to go. 2 years to wait.
Who am I sitting here with? Who put me in a room with someone that doesn't like chocolate, someone that's never read the Harry Potter books, 2 things that are core to who I am as a human being.
But I'm still a fan, James. In my defense, I feel like all of my friends growing up in primary school talked about the books constantly, and so I knew everything that happened.
All right, fair enough. I won't gatekeep Harry Potter,
much.
and I'll share what is potentially my greatest ever Harry Potter collectible that I've unfortunately lost. When I was a kid, my dad took me to the ANU Quidditch match, and one of the prizes they had in their raffle was a CD that the ANU students had compiled of original songs they had created based as Harry Potter characters. So one of the songs was as Malfoy singing to Harry, "What your mum get you for Christmas."
But James, I've just got to ask, were they flying when they played Quidditch? Or was it on ground?
It was on ground. They had the brooms between their legs.
Okay.
The snitch was an actual human who ran up a tree, and so 2 guys were trying to climb the tree to catch him.
That is crazy.
Maybe we should do a package, try and find the ANU Quidditch team someday.
I think they're still going.
UC has a Quidditch team? We got to make one.
Oh, that'd be a good inter-university battle, that.
Well, there you go. Well, thank you, Alison, for the news.
Of course.
Now, here at UCFM, we're all about the music, James. Isn't that right? It is something that we're super passionate about, and I know one of the other presenters, Tia, likes to collect her favourite albums on vinyl or CD, so she's got quite the collection. Isn't that right? Well, you actually don't know that, but now you know now.
Do you have any collection?
A little bit, yeah. It's not me, mostly my partner. She's very interested in collecting physical CDs and everything. So her car, all stacked up. Bookshelf in her room, all stacked up. Couldn't be me. But you have yours. You've got your little...
Yeah, well, I had my Harry Potter one, but one of my greatest possessions is a Mazda mixtape CD that came with my first ever car.
Wow.
I still have that, and it's now in...
That's crazy.
I don't drive a Mazda anymore, but it's still in there, and I play it from time to time. Got some real bangers on it, actually.
Oh, man, I got to steal that off you later. I want to give it a listen. Well, our next guest is someone who's made this passion into a career. You know, they're a vinyl owner of and musical enthusiast and is familiar with... Sorry, let me say that one more time. Any vinyl owner or music enthusiast is familiar with the city's Landspeed Records. Welcome to Blake, one of the owners of Landspeed Records, to chat about what it's like to run the record store. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Blake, I just want to start asking you, what made you and your brother want to open a record store all those years ago?
It's so long ago, I can barely remember, but it just seemed like a good idea at the time. I was at uni and a passionate music fan, collector, and a friend of mine actually had an accident and he came with some money and he was looking to start a business, and I was like, hey, why don't we start a record store? And he wasn't that passionate about record stores, but I was, and I convinced him. And he stuck around for the first few years, but then kind of decided, it wasn't really for him. So he moved on, I bought him out, and my brother sort of came in to help me out. And it's been that way for, almost 30 years now. So gone a long time, seen a lot of changes in that time, that's for sure.
Yeah. Did you ever think the store would still be open 30 years later?
I had no idea. I mean, they've certainly, in those 30 years, there were certainly some times when it kind of felt like maybe there wouldn't be any record stores open. I didn't necessarily think that we would be, but I'm glad that we are, and it's been a lot of work, but it's been a labour of love at the same time as well.
Yeah, and I love the name Landspeed Records. Such a cool name. What is the story behind it, Landspeed?
So my brother we were kind of tossing up a whole bunch of different names, and a lot of the other ones I'm kind of glad we didn't go with because they kind of feel pretty cringy. But it was actually the name of an album by this American sort of band called Husker Du, and it was just the name of one of their records, and we liked the band and we thought it was a cool name, and at the time it was kind of weird, people going, why are you calling it records, because it was mostly CDs at that time, but I mean they're all still, in my mind they're all still records, because the band goes and records a record and then it sort of got put out in different formats. But yeah, no, I still like the name. I'm glad that was the one we chose and not some of the other ones which were kind of a bit cringy.
What are some of the other names that you had playing in your mind?
Oh, there was like Sputnik and all these different things.
Love it, and I really love the name that you chose in the end. Now, owning a record store sounds like a pretty tricky business to run. What is one of the most unexpected things that you got from running a record store in Canberra?
I don't know. I guess it's just heaps of different changes over the years. I mean, when we started out, like this, give you some perspective. When we started out, we didn't even have a computer. We had a fax machine and we had one of those old school cash registers, and then the internet sort of arrived sort of about the same time. We opened in 94, which is kind of the early days of the internet. So the internet did exist, but it was mostly just like sort of message board type of things where you'd kind of leave messages and chat with people, and I guess so much has changed in that time. You know, CDs sort of came and then they kind of left, and then vinyl came back, and then CDs, oddly enough, actually are having a bit of a revival. Our CD sales have had an uptick, I'd say, in the last 18 months, and we've noticed a lot more young people taking an interest in CDs and buying CDs, and we've started stocking a lot more secondhand CDs, and that market's really booming. And vinyl's gone up a lot in the last few years, so I think vinyl, for a lot of young people, vinyls is a bit of a luxury item, and quite expensive. Whereas you can pick up a cool $10 CD that you can play in your car, and like you're talking about the Mazda mixtape, most young people have cars that have CD players in them because they have older cars, from I guess 90s and early 2000s. So we're seeing a lot of that, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I love that. And I was saying before, I know so many people who collect CDs and collect vinyls, and it's really making a resurgence. So it's so great to see Landspeed Records still running and still offering these things to a younger audience. Isn't that great?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny with customers over the years, it's kind of like you see multiple generations that have come through the store. So it was like the parents, and now we're getting the kids of the people that were teenagers when we first opened. So we've got a really broad market from 15 to people in their 70s and maybe even older. Yeah.
And Landspeed Records is also in the running to be named the best record store in Australia. Do you think you're deserving of this award?
I think I don't know if we would be the best. I think we'd be one of the best traveling around Australia. I mean, I think our range and our variety and the stuff that we bring in, we access stuff from all over the world. So I think we're definitely one of the best. I don't know if I'd be as bold enough to claim that we are the best, but I definitely top 5. And look, this website, themusic.com.au, has started this search, and they included us in it. So we're like, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. So we've tried to encourage as many people as possible to vote for us. And, it's a bit of a Canberra pride thing, because I don't think that most people would expect that a Canberra store is going to win it. It'll most likely go to somewhere in Sydney or Melbourne. But, it'd be cool if Canberra did get put on the map, because we do actually get a lot of people coming in from out of town. And they'll say, I've looked for this everywhere in Melbourne, I've looked for this everywhere in Sydney, and I can't find it, and you've got to hear this is great. So I think we are definitely recognised, on a national scale as it is, but, to win this, would be fantastic.
Yeah, and it would be fantastic. And what do you think this means for other record stores in Canberra? Do you think that you winning this competition would have a bit of more incentive for more stores like yours to pop up in Canberra? Maybe
it would put. I think it would help put Canberra on the map for that sort of things. Definitely. I mean, there's Canberra's, I think, is getting it's been a hard slog. But Canberra is getting a better reputation throughout the country. And also, too, I think there's a lot more pride from Canberrans themselves. We've seen in the last 15 or 20 years, people used to sort of be embarrassed to say they were from Canberra. And maybe some people still are, but I think a lot more people are taking pride in the city, and what we have. And people are really trying to support Canberra institutions. And obviously, I think, we've been around 30 years. We're in the institution phase, so if people want to support us and vote, that'd be great.
Yeah, and how can we vote? How can people vote? Through the website?
Vote. It's www.vote.themusic.com.au, and I think it's about to close actually this week. That vote, but also too, if the store that you vote for wins, you then go into the draw for a $200 voucher at that store. So if we win and you vote for us, you'll have a chance to get $200 to spend in the store, which would be cool.
Yep, didn't need any more incentive to vote for Landspeed with all the Canberra pride that's going on around here. Blake from Landspeed Records, nominated for Best Record Store in Australia. Thank you for joining us on The Real Radio Show.
No worries. Thanks a lot for having us.
just quickly, before we stay with our music, I'll just get to the text line. If you want to get in touch, that's 0415 777 405. And number 739's got in touch with us about the Mazda mixtape piece that is on the Owl. Legit one of the best stories on the Owl. You can find that on the Owl, Mazda mixtape masterpiece.
Brilliant.
But AJ, before we'll stick with music, I want to play a game with you. I need you to list 5 music genres, just off the top of your head.
Okay.
Go.
Pop, indie rock, folk, country. Do I need one more?
I think so.
Soul.
Soul.
There you go.
That's a good mix.
Yeah.
Do you listen to a lot of different genres?
You know, funny you say that. I actually do. I've been trying to swim through different genres and expand my taste, but there are definitely some genres that I need to go into. Hey.
Yeah, and to quote the great Gary B. Benson, do you like jazz?
Is it Gary or is it Barry?
Barry. Oh, that's a. I know it's Barry. Oh, I messed
Barry
it.
B. Benson. Do you like jazz? I do like jazz. I do like a bit of jazz. Why do you ask?
Well, because turns out Canberra actually has quite a big jazz scene. I wasn't aware of this. Were you aware of it?
No.
No? Well, Alison sat down to chat with Linda Weiss, the secretary of the Canberra Jazz Club. They're all about celebrating jazz and invite anyone who loves music to join in.
Can you describe what it is you do?
We bring jazz to the Canberra community. We're here
Excellent.
to promote jazz.
And how did you first get into jazz? Do you have a memory of the first time you heard it or the first time that you even got into music as a whole?
Not into music. I just joined because I'd heard jazz. My parents liked jazz. And where I was renting, it just so happened, the lady that collected the rents was the president of the Canberra Jazz Club.
There you go.
So I didn't know much about it, but she said, Linda, why don't you join our little jazz club? So she said it's a bit of a night out, and so there, what happened, and I liked it.
Bit of fun.
Mm.
Well, out of all of the music styles, especially now we have so many on offer, why are you drawn to jazz?
I'm drawn to the traditional jazz. It just appealed. I think you'd probably agree, music's such a personal choice.
Absolutely.
And I just love that old style New Orleans jazz, and they call it traditional jazz, Dixieland jazz, all the early 1920s through to the 1940s. And just hearing great big jazz bands, trumpet, saxophone, trombone, just blaring out all that lovely music. It just really got me in, and I like the upbeat tunes too.
Well, let's talk more about Canberra Jazz Club.
Mm-hmm.
And how many members do you have? When do you rehearse? What does the jazz look like, and how do you kind of work and operate as a club?
We've been around for a long time. 1972
Good on you.
was our reincarnation. We had been a small jazz club earlier, but rock and roll took over. So jazz in Canberra just disappeared. And then in the bigger cities, Sydney and Melbourne, Graham Bell, for instance, Graham Bell and Roger Bell, they're like considered our fathers of jazz in Australia. They their parents introduced them to the old New Orleans style jazz. So these old blokes, well, young men then, started playing jazz around the big cities. So there was a group of musos in Canberra that thought, gee, we should start a jazz club again. So 1972, it started again, and we're still going. And we have a Sunday afternoon once a month at Southern Cross Club Jamison from 1 till 4 o'clock, and there's no practicing. It's usually a band that tends to play together quite regularly. We don't have jam sessions like a lot of clubs do, like Smiths, for instance, might have a jam afternoon, but everyone's welcome to just come along and play what they like or how they like. Whereas what I have on every month is a formal band. Robbie Mann and friends, or Carolyn Packer and the Stomping Rhythm Aces, or the
Great names as well.
Yeah, so they come to Canberra. A lot of them aren't local, and we get them here, and they come to play as a group. And the Canberra audiences are very clever, and so we get the best stuff because these musos know that Canberra people know their music, but we're also very good listeners in Canberra. The jazz bands love playing for us because we're a very attentive audience.
What do you enjoy most about these kinds of live performances?
Well, the fact is they are live. And we have an opportunity to just hear these wonderful musicians doing their thing. It's not the same as a record. So we all get together. We have 220 members at the moment, and we probably get 150 of them turn up at Jamison. And it's just a wonderful place for people to get together that like the same thing.
Is there any singing and dancing involved, or is it more of a sit down and watch kind of thing?
Well, we don't normally sing along. We do, depending. Some of the bands play the old stuff we all know, and we'll have a bit of people sing along. But we've got a small dance floor, and the Canberra Swing Cats love turning up and having a dance to a lot of our, especially the swing bands that play. So, yeah, it's only a tiny dance floor, but they take it in turns. And so they'll come for 3 hours of dancing. And it's great for the older members in my club. They love to sit back and listen to the music and watch the dancing.
And did you have another event coming up after the July 13th one?
So the following month in August, we usually aim for the second Sunday of the month. We've got Robbie Mann and Friends. Now, Robbie's... he's going to be one of the Australian jazz stars one day. He's a stride pianist, a young man, comes from the Blue Mountains, was a Canberran. He's a marvellous piano player, and he will come to Canberra and put a group together, and he'll use a lot of the local blokes that play regularly. They're really top musos, so Robbie Mann and Friends will bring in a big crowd for us.
There you go, guys. For all listening, next August,
yes,
Robbie Mann and Friends down at...
August the 10th, if I recall.
There you go.
Southern Cross Club, Jamison.
Well, just to end off our interview today, for somebody keen to get involved with Canberra Jazz Club, no matter their age or where they're from, how would you recommend they go about getting into the club or being part of it?
Well, all ages are welcome. We do have a student rate. So we've got $10 a year is the full-time student rate. We've got 2 students at the moment out of 220.
There you go.
And these days everything's online. So you just go online if you wish to join Canberra Jazz Club website and just fill in the form, pay us the money, and you can be a member.
For the price of 2 cups of coffee for the whole year,
yes,
you can be part of something very special.
You could. Yeah, so it's just a lovely feel, and all the people that go on a Sunday feel that they're part of this larger community that all enjoy the same thing. It's a comfortable venue, it's safe, it's nice. People have a lunch, if they want, with their friends, and you get to hear good music for 3 hours.
What more could you want?
What more could you want?
Well, Linda, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm wishing you all the best of luck at Jazz at Jamison, and I hope that goes well, and then we'll have to stick around for Robbie Mann in August.
Yes, thank you, Alison.
Super cool. Love a bit of jazz, and thank you so much to Alison for that interview. And just a reminder, guys, that we have a text line. 0415774405 is the number. Send us a text, just like Zoe B. She says, great show today, guys. Loving the recommendations of things to do in Canberra, from ghost tours to jazz. And I agree. Now, up next, here's Alison again with an update from the OWL newsroom.
Good evening from the OWL newsroom. I'm Alison Kennelly. It is a monumental day for donors as a rule change makes 24,000 people more eligible to donate in Canberra or Australia. The Therapeutic Goods Administration approved a submission to remove gender-based sexual activity restrictions, meaning gay and bisexual men and transgender women are eligible to donate plasma. Ineligible to donate due to past rules, Treasurer Chris Steele marked the occasion yesterday at Lifeblood Civic as one of the first people in the city to take advantage of the change. The US and NATO have struck a deal to send massive numbers of weapons from America to the Ukraine, with Europe paying for the weapons. Donald Trump is also threatening Russia with economic penalties if a peace deal isn't reached within 50 days. Over to music, an AI-generated band has reached over 1 million plays on Spotify in just a matter of weeks. The viral band, The Velvet Sundown, initially denied being an AI creation, instead describing themselves as a synthetic music project guided by human creative direction. They released 2 albums in June called Floating on Echoes and Dust and Silence. However, things got more complicated when a self-proclaimed adjunct member told reporters that the Velvet Sundown had used AI generative platform Suno to make their songs, promotional images, and backstory. The original 90s rave generation, Gen X, is dancing their way back onto the dance floor. Daytime clubbing is becoming increasingly popular with those in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, with parties often starting around 3 p.m. and finishing at the ripe hour of 8 p.m. Nick Shaw, founder of popular day club Studio 38 in Brisbane, named his club after the 3 to 8 open time. He says he loves how he can enjoy the partying of his youth, but still wake up clear-headed and able to spend the weekend with his kids. Keep an eye out on the roads, as last Tuesday a deer was seen leaping in front of 2 cars on Ginninderra Drive. The dashcam footage uploaded to Facebook has left Canberra residents stunned, with Invasive Species Council Chief Executive Jack Goff saying that while shocking, it is no longer an uncommon sight in some of our major cities. Earlier this month, a deer was spotted on train tracks near a station in Sydney South, marking the growing presence of the species around the New South Wales and ACT. Jumping over to sport, Scott Boland has just become the 10th Australian man to take a Test hat-trick in a late career surge, despite statistically being the best Test bowler in more than 100 years. His performance in Australia's match against Jamaica came on a record-breaking day, with the West Indies bowled out for just 27 to wrap up a 176-run win and 3-0 sweep of the Frank Worrell Trophy. And there is a new group of girls making waves in motorsport. Mina Langham, aged 10, discovered her passion for racing after she tried out go-karting for the first time in September last year. Less than a year in, she has already competed in over 100 races, going from a complete novice to now beating seasoned racers. Mina just got her own go-kart in April, and according to her dad Kim, has already done over 500 kilometres in it. With the goal to be part of the F1 Girls Academy, Mina is not slowing down anytime soon. A quick weather check. It's currently 9 degrees in Canberra. Wind gusts are up to 27 kilometres per hour, making the temperature feel like a chilly 4 degrees. And that's the latest from the Owl Newsroom.
Thank you so much, Tia. Oh my goodness. That deer.
Tia?
Not Tia. Alison. So used to Tia, I'm sorry. Tia's away. Thank you so much, Alison, not Tia. That deer story. Tell me about it. Oh my gosh.
I'm terrified to go driving now, especially since I frequently go on Ginninderra Drive. I've never seen a deer in Canberra though, so I don't know if I believe it until I see one for myself.
I'm going to take that footage as all the belief I need to see that they're around. That I didn't believe it either, but it is
But
crazy.
James, I've lived 19 years in Canberra and I've never once seen a deer here.
They're not really in here, are they? They're kind of like more of a New South Wales thing, I think.
Surely. But maybe we'll keep an eye out now.
Yeah.
After reading this, I definitely will.
Yeah, no, I'd be too scared because, speaking of how many roos there are, around the towns.
Kangaroos I've seen, for sure.
Kangaroos, yeah, but deer, no. So, I don't know. Hopefully no deers coming across my little Hyundai Getz. No, thank you.
No, that wouldn't survive very well. But yeah, you do mention the kangaroos. I've seen a lot more kangaroos crossing our roads recently, and a lot more, unfortunately, have been hit on our roads, causing a danger to a lot of drivers, actually. Today we're going to be chatting to someone who can explain why this might be happening and their proposed solution that is going to not just save kangaroo lives, but save Canberrans money. Joining us in the studio is Aisha Bottrell, member of Save Canberra Kangaroos. That's a good tongue twister there for anyone that needs one. And creator of the petition to install virtual fencing along Canberra's roads. Aisha, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Now, Aisha, can you tell us a little bit, about what Save Canberra Kangaroos is?
Yeah, sure. So Save Canberra's Kangaroos is a Canberra community group. It's full of passionate Canberrans who really care about the lives of kangaroos, with a main goal of stopping the annual kangaroo cull, but also looking to just get better protections more generally for kangaroos in Canberra.
And how did this organisation start, and how did you get involved?
Sure. So it started a few years ago. A group of people sort of came together in the animal welfare, animal rights space and thought that there really needed to be a dedicated group for kangaroos. There's a lot of more broader animal rights groups out there, but there was a view that maybe there needed to be one solely for the purpose of saving Canberra's kangaroos. So yeah, that started up a few years ago now.
And you mentioned the annual kangaroo cull. The ACT government has begun their cull this year on the 10th of June. It's going to run until the 31st of July with approximate culling of 2,981 kangaroos. We know the government's argument for this cull is to protect threatened native grasslands and woodlands from overgrazing. But what is Save Canberra Kangaroos' argument against the culling?
Yeah, sure. So I think it sort of goes back to the fact that kangaroos have lived on this land for millions of years before humans came along, and they've managed their numbers just fine before humans came with guns. They're a really important part of the ecosystem. They sort of act as ecosystem engineers, and they're soft-footed native animals. They don't graze down the grass like sheep do. So they play a really vital role in the grassland and the woodland environment. So culling them and scapegoating kangaroos for issues caused by humans such as urban development or other introduced species, other things like that, it's not what we believe is the right way to go about it. And they're an iconic native animal. I mean, they're on our coat of arms, so it doesn't make sense for us to be out there like killing them in the middle of the night for something that I don't believe they caused.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and in recent weeks, I've seen more macropods. Is that what they're called? The term to describe kangaroos and wallabies, and as well as some of other animals as well. I've seen them more on the side of the roads. Do you believe that this is caused by the cull?
I think it's caused by a few things. Definitely, it's our view that the roads sort of that are close by to the reserves where they are culling kangaroos, such as Mugga Lane, which is surrounded by Isaacs Ridge, Carlin Bray and Mount Mugga Mugga. There definitely is a potential that kangaroos are fleeing the shooting in the night, and potentially when a car is coming, getting hit by cars. Like, kangaroos are sentient animals. They feel fear and pain. So I'm sure when they're hearing the loud gunshots, they are fleeing literally for their lives. So that could be a reason for it. I also think that there are more drivers on our roads these days. So the more drivers, the more chance of them hitting a kangaroo. Also, during dry times, kangaroos do come down to the roads a bit more to eat the grass that's by the roadside. So I think it's a combination of factors, but they do say that 60% of kangaroo collisions do happen in the months of May to October, and that is when the kangaroo cull is on. So I do think there is a link between the two.
Yeah, a bit of a correlation there. Yeah.
And we've seen in the past few years, in 2024, 2025, there was 4,464 ranger call-outs for dead or injured macropods after they'd been hit by cars. You've got a petition for virtual fencing trial here in Canberra, which is going to try and limit the amount of collisions that we're seeing on our roads. What is virtual fencing and how does it work?
Yeah, sure. So virtual fencing is essentially, you guys may have seen on the side of the road, those white reflected posts. It's essentially on the back of those things. There's a little device, and they are spaced about 25 metres apart along the road. And when a car's headlights reflects on the device, it shines a light and a sound to the side of the road, which tells animals not to cross at that time. It sounds really simple, almost too simple for it to be effective, but down at the Eurobodalla Shire, which is just down the coast near us, they did a trial on a road during peak Christmas time, and the trial was so successful they saw a 90% reduction in wildlife collisions on that road. They went from 5 a week to I think 5 in 1 year call-outs. So it's really, really effective. So I think because we are seeing an increase in kangaroo collisions on our roads, this is something that we do need to trial here.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
it stops animals obviously getting into these dangerous situations, but it can also help local residents stop their cars from getting damaged.
Yeah, that's right, because I'm sure we all know it is very costly if you damage your car. But it's also dangerous too, because there is a risk of you getting injured if you do hit an animal. So I think there's a benefit not only to the wildlife and the kangaroos, but also to road users. And it's also relatively cheap. So if you think about if you damage your car, like the insurance cost could be in the thousands of dollars. To install 1 kilometre of virtual fencing, it's about $10,000. So I think in the long term, it will pay for itself in the less collisions that there are.
Yeah, definitely.
And you want to start this virtual fencing with your petition. Are you proposing we start in a single area, or do you want to just expand to Canberra straight away?
I think it's good to start in one of the hotspots that are listed on the ACT government website. So my petition is to get it on Arundel Drive, which is a known and listed hotspot, and I can attest to that myself. Every single week there are multiple kangaroos hit on that road. So I think if we start in maybe 1 or 2 locations, assess its effectiveness in a city sort of landscape, because obviously Canberra is a bit different down the coast. But if it is effective, I would really like to see it rolled out to all of the hotspots so that we can reduce these collisions, because it's horrific for kangaroos but also for drivers too.
And how is the petition going so far?
Yeah, it's going well. A petition with the ACT Legislative Assembly needs 500 signatures to be referred to a committee, and we've already surpassed that. We're just under 790 signatures I think now, but I do have a goal to get to 1,000 because I think that's a nice good number to get to. So yeah, it's going well so far.
Yeah, definitely. Now, a bit of a flip here, you know, you're working with kangaroos so much and talking about them a lot. What is your favourite thing about kangaroos?
I have to say how unique they are, because you don't have any animals like that anywhere else in the world. And I guess they're just super cute. I mean, when you see the little joeys sticking their heads out of the pouches,
So
like,
cute.
who doesn't find that cute?
Yeah, definitely.
And do you have a favourite fictional kangaroo?
Probably have to go with the classic Skippy the bush kangaroo, I would say.
Classic, and classic for a reason. Well loved.
I'd pick Roo and Kanga from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah, those are good ones.
Very cute. I said something about Animal Crossing earlier. Yeah, I've got kangaroos in there, and they're my faves.
But back onto the petition, where can people find it to sign it if they think this is a great idea, which at the Real Radio Show, I think it's outstanding what you're doing.
Thanks. So if you head to the ACT Legislative Assembly website and you get to the petitions page, you'll see all the current petitions listed there, and it's just the one that says virtual fencing trial in Canberra. It takes less than a minute to do it. You're just going to put in your details and then press sign. So yeah, if you think it's a good idea, please do sign my petition.
Now, Alison is done with her news duties and has joined us on the desk. Welcome, Alison.
Hi,
Welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome
Good to be back.
Are you sure it's Alison with us and not Tia?
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
can be Tia, AJ, if you want me to.
Well, we do have
Oh
a
my
great
goodness.
text in from 739. Is Alison an AI Tia, or is Tia an AI Alison?
Ooh, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah,
well,
I
let us know.
can't
What do you
reveal my
reckon?
secrets, guys. I'll tell you next week, maybe.
Ooh, tune in for that.
All right.
But Alison, we heard you earlier talking to Linda from Canberra Jazz Club, but that wasn't the only interview that you did this week.
No, I also spoke to a girl called Charlotte. Her Instagram handle, for those curious, is at Chars Crafted. She is running a stall this Sunday at the 19th of July at Epic. They're holding the Fashion Thrift Society event. It's like a huge fashion market. They tour around Australia, New Zealand, the UK. Apparently the world's biggest fashion market, but they said that on their website, so I couldn't fact check it. But they're coming to Canberra. Everyone should get excited. Everyone should get pumped. I got my ticket this morning, so yeah, I think it's like $12 for the full day for a student. They have anywhere from 100 to 300 different vendors selling curated vintage stuff or jewelry. There's also tattoos and piercings and henna and tarot reading and
I gotta go.
Some weird stuff there. But yeah, it should be fun. Anyway, here is Charlotte from Chars Crafted here to tell us about her experience with Fashion Thrift Society. Charlotte, thank you for coming on the show today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Charlotte is running a stall at Fashion Thrift Society, which is coming to Canberra this Sunday, the 19th of July. tell me about Fashion Thrift Society. What is it and how long have you been involved?
Yes, so it comes to Canberra around 2 times a year usually, and it's just a big market that goes around Australia, New Zealand, the UK. They tour around everywhere all year round, and you can apply to sell. So just a whole bunch of people come together who have small businesses or like want to sell things. So you don't even have to have a business. You can just, if you want to get rid of your clothes,
just rock up on the day. Yeah.
Sign up and do it and just get some money and get rid of your clothes at the same time.
This isn't your first time though, is it?
No. So I've been doing it for... I've been doing it for like 2.5 years now, but beforehand I used to go all the time as like a shopper. I used to love shopping there. And then I was like, I want to do this myself. So I tried it out, selling some of my old clothes I wanted to get rid of, and it's kind of gone from there. So,
how does the day kind of flow? Do you just rock up, buy a ticket?
As a customer, you just rock up, buy a ticket. There's different time sessions you can buy for. People like to go early in the morning, like straight away to get all the good stuff first. But it's
Would you recommend that?
Definitely.
Okay.
I used to be that person that would go like bright and early because I have like FOMO and I just didn't want to miss out on anything, you know.
Me too. Me too.
But you can also go in the afternoon. We do recommend coming at the end of the day as well, because usually most sellers put stuff on sale at the end of the day or in the last hour, and it's also cheaper to go at the end of the day. So
some wise advice from an experienced player as well.
Yes.
Well, shifting the focus onto you, how did you first get into thrifting?
All right, so I think I've had Chars crafted for a while. So initially it was a jewelry kind of business, and I started it during COVID, like 2020, when, you know, we had nothing to do.
Exactly.
Came up with selling jewelry on... are you familiar with Depop?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I use Depop.
A secondhand selling platform for those who don't know.
Yes. Sold jewelry on there, and then I just kind of ended up over the years getting rid of my clothes on there, and then I was like, you know what, I want to source my own stuff and try it out, because I wasn't finding styles that I like really, really liked, and I was like, what if I just do it myself? I'm sure people have similar style to me. So I just kind of started doing that and sourcing things I would want to buy if I was at a market or on Depop, and it just kind of went from there and was going really well. So
and for those listening, what would you say your style is? If someone wants to jump down on Sunday, what can they expect from your stall?
Very girly, I would say I am. I really like unique pieces, lots of pinks, bright colours, you know, kind of fairy core vibes.
I was just about to say that.
Lots of that. I also like certain brands, you know, like Juicy Couture, Coach bags. I like to source those. So I have lots of those coming this weekend as well, which I'm very excited about.
And in terms of sourcing, I've always wondered, do you just go to a bunch of like secondhand places and pull things together, or is there a hidden gem place to find everything?
That's how I started. Honestly, I just started by thrifting myself. Honestly though, like Canberra in Australia is not the best place to find what you're looking for those kind of things.
Many people can relate.
Honestly, I just really researched into it, and I just source stuff from overseas. So I have wholesalers like from a mix of the UK and around Asia and Japan, and get them to send the stuff to me, so which is very fun.
Cool. A little behind the scenes.
The scenes.
Did you grow up wearing a ton of secondhand stuff?
I actually didn't, but do you remember like Pumpkin Patch?
Yeah.
The old like kids stores like that. I used to have so many things from there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the style I like today. I'm the oldest child in my family, so
I was just about to say, you like from that answer I was like, she's probably first in the running. I was a hand-me-down girl growing up. So
younger sibling.
Absolutely, youngest sibling. Yeah. Well, what is your best secondhand find?
Ooh.
Tricky question for an experienced thrifter.
That's a great question. There's probably 2 I have in mind. One day I was just in Queanbeyan, and I just went to Angelic Care there, and they had do you know the brand BB?
Vaguely.
It was a BB branded, like, really pretty cami pink silk baby doll top.
Okay, nice.
And that's probably my best thrift find, like, around Canberra.
Was it
wasn't
well
even in
priced? Or?
Yeah, it was only, I think, like $5.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my gosh.
So Queen Bean's the way to go.
Sometimes.
I
won't make any promises in case you go there. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't stop by Queen Bean often, but I might just for this.
Sometimes, yeah. Another thrift find, I just came back from Europe a few weeks ago, actually.
Whereabouts did you go?
I went around, like, London, Paris, went on a cruise around France, like, with my family.
Not jealous at all right now.
It was really good. I went to some random thrift places, like, in France, like, in random, because we stayed at, like, really coastal towns along the way on the cruise ship. Found the best things ever there.
Wow. So France is the spot.
France, yes.
France is the best.
I would say Italy's the spot, but I didn't go there, so... I hear there's lots of flea markets there. So if you're going over there, go to flea markets in, like, Paris and Italy.
Well, I was going to ask you the best place to thrift in Canberra, but I guess globally we know
I do have some favourite spots to thrift in Canberra.
Okay. Please share if you feel like it.
No, I will.
Unless it's a secret, but that's okay.
I won't gatekeep, guys. My favourite places would probably be Salvo's and Jameson's. I tend to find things there. And also, I live in Western, so, you know, Vinnie's and Salvo's at Western Creek are usually my favourite spots as well. It's right near home, and I usually find good stuff there as well.
Yeah, Vinnie's is the classic, but I feel like Salvo's I haven't been to in ages.
Really? So I do prefer Salvo's because prices are a bit cheaper than Vinnie's.
I was just going to say...
Controversial.
Yeah, what are your thoughts at the moment on the current thrifting sphere? Because I feel like it's very commercialised.
It definitely sucks when op shops know their worth and they, like, know what the good pieces are because they will upprice them. But honestly, I think, Vinnie's getting a bit overpriced. Salvo's a bit cheaper.
And do you feel like it influences your business as well as an online secondhand shop?
Yeah, a little bit. Look, one of the problems I had as being a shopper, that was too overpriced. So another reason I started my own store was because I wanted to make it decently priced for people. Yeah. Whilst also making a little bit of a profit. So I try to balance that out as best as I can.
Well, speaking of the event, run us through the details really quickly for those wanting to get more involved with your shop and possibly show up to the event on Sunday. What can they do? What can they expect? Where can they go?
So it's at Epic, so where the Canberra show is. Yeah. And I don't know if you're familiar with, like, the handmade markets and all the events out there.
I believe Flemington Road is the address.
So you can park anywhere around there. They have the parking open for everyone. And you just go in with your ticket. I think you can buy tickets at the door as well. I think that's not an issue. And it's free at the end of the day anyway, so you can just rock up. You can come in the morning, rock up later if you want to as well. So.
Double whammy.
There'll be food there. They also have... free tattoos, piercings, haircuts at the very start, but you got to get there first. It's first and best dressed to get all of those things. I think there's nails as well, and you can go get them done for free with your ticket.
So for those listening, $15, jump on down.
And there's also, I think it's cheaper for students as well.
Very nice.
Yes.
We like that a lot.
Yes.
Well, Charlotte, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Wishing you all the best
Thanks for
at
having
your
me.
event. Hopefully you sell everything, unless there's things that you want to keep for yourself.
Thank you. I'm excited to see everyone there.
And that was Charlotte from Chars Crafted coming to us before her stall at the Fashion Thrift Society event this Sunday, 20th of July. I was corrected. Guys, what's the best item you've ever thrifted?
Oh, okay. I was in Sydney and I got a vintage Tommy Hilfiger windbreaker that I did look up, and it was like $230 online. Got it for $20. Left it on the train. Left it on the train. Oh, guys, I'm still salty about that today, but there you go.
That is so rough.
Do you get more convinced to buy something if you see that it's actually a higher price?
For sure, because someone else is going to steal that and sell it on Depop.
Yeah, so you're just doing it good for the community.
Yeah, and I'm wearing it for myself. There you go. What about
James,
you?
what's your best one?
Yeah.
The best one I ever got, it was a sweater I found at Vinnie's, and it was white and it horizontally had little sort of circles on it of different colours. So it was one line of green, one of red, one of blue, one of yellow.
Like Skittles.
Like almost. Skittles. Yeah. And it was called my party sweater because it was when I was like 18 and you go on all the parties, and I'd wear it to all the parties, and everyone would be like,
and you gave them the little rundown that we just got about the sweater and finding it. Conversation starter.
There you go.
And I've still got it.
Oh, You should wear it next week.
I'll see if it fits.
Yeah, for a sweater.
For all the listeners. For all the listeners.
What about you, Alison?
Let me think. The one pair of shoes that I've ever gotten secondhand in my entire life was the week before the green shed was closing down. I had to walk back in there just for the memories, even though it's still alive now. But like a great pair of leather boots, fit perfectly, and I was made to be.
Well, there you go. Can't
made
beat
to
it.
be.
I can't trust secondhand shoes.
I was like, normally I would never go for it, but it's the only pair I've ever gotten. But I was like, you and I are connected at a soul level.
Well, maybe
so I had to come home.
A soul level?
A soul level. Well, maybe, Alison,
I'm
you'll
leaving
find,
the show.
Maybe you'll find some more boots if you go to the Fashion Thrift Society.
Possibly.
Coming this weekend. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you for tuning in to The Real Radio Show.
And thank you also to all our guests, Sarah from Foreshore Ghosts, Charlotte from Chars Grafted, Fashion Thrift Society, Blake from Landspeed Records, Linda from Canberra Jazz Club, and Aisha from Save Canberra's Kangaroos.
Yes, and make sure to follow our socials at UCFM_87.8 on Instagram and on Facebook. Check out our website, ucfm.com.au as well.
We'll be back again next Tuesday. You can find past episodes of this show and all the other great UCFM shows that we do here on our website, ucfm.com.au.
Yeah, there you go. Check us out. Check the other ones out. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.